Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Compassion. Hello, my name is Jason. I'm one of the pastors here at Compassion Church in Radford. So excited you've joined me. If this is something that ministers to you, please remember to like and share it because it may minister to someone else. You know, we've been going through the series, The Comeback, here at Compassion Church. It's been an awesome series. Pastor Al's done a great job preaching it. It's all about how God's story intertwines with our story and that your story is not finished yet. You see, if you have breath in your body, God still has a plan for you. I want to talk about a comeback story this morning, and that's about Leah, who was the wife of Jacob. When Jacob needed a wife, he traveled to his distant relatives. On the way there, he met Rachel. And he instantly fell for Rachel. She was beautiful. She was gorgeous. He went to her father, Laban, who was also his uncle, and asked for her hand in marriage. And Laban said, "Yeah, that'll work if you work for me for 7 years." So Jacob worked and toiled by the sweat of his brow for 7 years. And after 7 years, he got married. He consummated the marriage. But you see, he had been tricked. He didn't know that Laban had switched his daughters. He ended up marrying the older daughter, Leah. Well, this made Jacob angry. For one, Leah was considered unattractive. He didn't want to marry her. And matter of fact, so much so that no man did. That's why Laban ended up tricking him into marrying her. And Laban says, "Look, man, culturally, my older daughter has to be married first. But you can still marry Rachel. You can marry her next week if you promise to work for me another 7 years." So Jacob took him up on the deal. Can you imagine Leah's heartbreak? Can you imagine? Not only did no man want her, her own husband didn't want her. He was willing to work for 7 years by the sweat of his brow to show his love for Rachel. And he did that. And when he didn't marry Rachel, he was willing to work 7 more, 14 years of sweating and toiling simply to be married to her younger sister. I can't imagine her heartbreak. But the book of Genesis, chapter 29, says that God saw that she was unloved. He remembered her. He loved her. And he was moved with compassion. You know, though Jacob always treated Rachel as the favorite, God allowed her something, physically speaking, that was a blessing beyond any of Jacob's wives or anyone could offer him. And that is that she gave birth to 6 of his sons and 1 of his daughters. You see, culturally, there's nothing greater that she could give her husband than give him sons. And for her entire life, she always had that on her sister. But see, there's a greater blessing here that we can't miss. And that is this, that Leah is a physical ancestor of Jesus Christ. That's right, Jesus Christ's birth line goes through Leah. You see, not only did God remember her physically, he also remembered her spiritually. Without Leah, theoretically speaking, we don't have Jesus, because God used her to give birth to a son that gave birth to a son that gave birth all the way down the line to Jesus Christ. You see, you may be feeling rejected today. You may feel like no one loves you. That is simply not true. Not only does God see that you feel unloved, God loves you. He has a plan for you, and he has a purpose for you. You know, I don't think Leah ever knew what was going to happen with her descendants. She never knew that her descendants would give birth to Jesus. She never knew that the Messiah would come through her bloodline. But oh man, what an exciting blessing for her, because when she stood face to face with God, the whole thing was revealed to her. It was revealed to her how much she was truly loved and how much of a role that she played in God's plan. I promise you today, God loves you. He has a role for you in his plan, and he's going to be the one to put it in place. God bless you. Have an awesome day.